Guys, welcome back to the channel to another video, and in this video we are going to start the engine. Let's go. Last video guys, we disassembled the engine, got the gearbox off, installed all the brand new parts like seals, like a brand new thermostat, and we painted parts like the coolant pipe over here, the cover over here. We got brand new Abarth clamps, etc, etc. Everything is brand new. In this video guys, we are going to fill up the coolant, brake fluid because it's empty, install some brand new brakes because I got this one, and yep, still a lot to do. But in this video guys, we are going to make sure that what you see right now is looking perfect and brand new in the end of this video, and hopefully it will start right up. So guys, off camera I installed the starter motor, which is all the way down there, which you can't reach from the bottom side. I managed to do it, but it took a very long time. There's absolutely no space. There's a bolt over here, over there, and one on the bottom. So if you are ever gonna get this engine out, make sure that the starter motor is installed while the engine is out of the car. And a lot of people guys are asking me questions via Instagram, via YouTube. They even email me with problems with their cars. I can't reply to all of them, and I can't give you a solution because the car is not with me. But most of the problems that you can have with the Italian car is electronics, and most of the times it is the fuse box that is located over here, which you will see later on in the video. And that fuse box normally has a big black cover on it. Most of the people, or the people from the garage, remove it. They don't install it back. Water and moisture get inside. Also in the winter period, the relays are getting corroded. You get intermittent problems, and you got weird problems like loose connection, that type of things. For example, this is an earth lead from this car. Look how corroded it is, and this is normal. This car stood still for a very long time, but it is normal for this to happen. So you have an earth lead over here. This is the big piece right here, is where all the earth leads are coming together, and from here it's going directly to the negative side of the battery. And this is also the negative lead going to the chassis over here, then going to the gearbox over here. And the starter motor is using the negative side from the engine. So the negative side of the starter motor, it gets it from the engine and the gearbox. And then the starter motor also gets a plus wire, which is this one, going through here, down there to the starter motor. So the plus is going to the starter motor, and the negative side from the starter motor is the engine and gearbox. Well, enough blah 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 blah. Let's install everything back inside the car, and if I see anything that I can give you as a tip, I will show you. So what we have here guys is the fuse box, and I've got all the relays and fuses out. I put them all in a plastic bag, and what I did is I cleaned up this little part over here. This is where the plus wire from the battery is going to, and on top you got all the relays, all the fuses, etc. What I did is checked if there was any corrosion or water damage inside. As I mentioned earlier in the video, normally there's a plastic cover hiding the fuse box, but 9 out of 10 Alfa Romeos or Fiat Stilos do not have that cover anymore. water gets inside, moisture, etc., giving intermittent problems. So what I did is I removed this top cover. Basically you just undo these clips over here on all sides, and you get this cover off and you check inside if there's any corrosion. If not, put it back. If so, you gotta clean it up. I'm using a wire brush, something like this, and for the fuses, etc., make sure that all the parts are shiny. So I'm installing the fuse box. This is the fuse box that I all cleaned up, and below the fuse box, inside the battery cover housing, is or are the famous D4 connectors. There are two of them, D4 and D5 if I'm right. So it's a brown one and a black one, and what happens over time is usually there's a big cover over here which people just leave out, and whenever you wash the car, whenever you're driving in the rain, etc., etc., water will come in from through here, inside here, and moisture will get into these two connectors, which will give you all kinds of problems like injector problems, intermittent problems like loose connection, etc., etc. So if you are having problems with your Italian car like the Alfa Romeo, in this case the Fiat, check this part. Clean up the fuse box, remove every relay, look at the contacts, clean them up using some sandpaper, and use some contact spray, contact cleaner for those two connectors, and you are good to go. Let's go, let's install it. Well guys, I painted the red pack, as some other YouTubers call it. I didn't know it was called a red pack, but it's probably called a red pack. Anyways, it holds the air conditioning condenser and the radiator behind it, and well, I painted it and it looks a little bit more fresh. But now I want to install the lock, the bonnet lock, and basically this is just a little notch over here that goes behind here, and then this one is clickety click like that, and the way it looks, as you can see, I'm using the center part of it. So there's a notch over here, a notch over there, and another one. I'm using the middle one, and the lock itself has to go at the highest position as possible. Now it's time, guys, to install the hoses. You can see it on camera. Let's see. Yep, you can see. So those are the two radiator hoses. One is over here connected to here, and the other one is going there to the thermostat, and we are using brand new Abarth clamps. So let's go, let's install it. Let's widen them up using a number 7. I always make sure that the bolt is on top somewhere inside, so whenever there is a leak and you have to remove it, you don't have to remove all the other stuff just to get to this bolt. So using a number 7, tighten them up. Tight is tight. Don't over tie them because it will go through the rubber and you will get a leak. It's tight enough. Now it's time to install the throttle body housing, which is this one. First we got the orange seal, like that. Then we are using this one. It's a little bit of a fiddly job. It's doable. What have we done so far? We have installed the lock. It's all looking perfect. I installed the ECU and the throttle body, fuse box. I installed all the coils. Spark plugs were already new, so all the coils are in. And now we are going to add some coolant into this reservoir. We are not going to start it right up because, well, the plus and the negative side are still not connected. So yeah, let's start with the coolant. So these are the original headlights that were on the car. Those were original from the factory, just looking at the Fiat logo over here. And well, after more than 20 years they are gone. You can't fix them. Yeah, you could be fixing them, but they have scratches on it, etc. It's ridiculous. So I bought brand new headlights. That looks much better. Got a pair of them, of course. So let's install them. Well, guys, look at that. What a change. Headlights do make a difference on a car. And yeah, it's looking amazing together also with the red pack that I painted black. Everything is looking much better, including the lock, the coolant, etc. Oh yes. Well, let's continue installing everything back onto the car and then let's give it a wash. Well guys, the front bumper is on, the headlights have been installed, and the bumper is not completely fitted correctly, but I did use brand new screws from Poland, all the way from Poland. And of course the grill, yeah, it's completely worn, but we are going to restore it and make it look like a brand new grill again. First thing that I want to do right now is get a car on the wheels and give it a good wash, and so I can see all the damage from the outside. And yeah, and then in the end we will fix the grill, and then we will move on to the interior of the car and we will finish it. Let's go. Well guys, the car is back on its wheels. It's not completely done, of course. If you just look in between, there's still a brake line, so I don't have any brakes, and there's no cover inside, so I have to be careful in here with the water. Main focus right now is just the outside, just to give it a good wash, because the car has not been cleaned in years. Years of dust is on the car. I want to wash it, and maybe I'll just try a polish and see what it looks like. But yeah, let's go wash it. Now it's time to tighten this plastic piece over here. There's a bolt going into here. The other one is up there, and they are using very tiny Allen keys. So 2 of them going in on top side, and those plastic tabs are going into that part over there. So I'm gonna tighten them up and we'll continue from there. Instrument cluster is in, not bolted up yet. There's a bolt, same ones are also in the top here, one over here and the one over there. Yep, let's go. Guys, if you are wondering where all the coolant went, well, it did not stay in here. It did not stay in the engine. It went down. You can see it on camera. Yep, look at all that pink stuff. Turn on the lights, maybe you can see it then. Focus. Yep, there's all the pink stuff, and it's leaking from... Where are you? That little pipe over there with the 2 bolts. The seal is leaking, as you can see on the right hand side, the bottom side, sorry. On the camera, the bottom side is all pinky, and there is a hose that is blowing from over there all the way to here, here, and which is this one over here, and well, it's also leaking from here. If I feel over here, all wet, so I need to remove it, and well, hope we can fix it. To get access to those 2 bolts, I need to remove the engine mount. 15, bolts 15 and 3 times 17. Let's remove it, then I have full access and we can see where the leakage is coming from. So the reason why it's leaking is because we reused the old seal. And I know what you're thinking, well, why didn't you replace it in the first place? Well, as I said earlier, it's not my car, it's someone else's car, and their choice was not to replace it, reuse it and use some other sealant in here, which would leak anyway. So in this case, we are going to remove the old rubber. A little pry tool in here. Hope we can get it out. It's plastic. That's why it starts leaking. Well, got a replacement one, so gonna install it back inside and refill up the coolant again. I filled the coolant up all the way to the max and it's not leaking. Last time when I filled it up, it was leaking immediately somewhere down there. Let's check. I clean it up and as you can see, it's not leaking. You can't see it. Yep, there it is. It's not leaking, so that's good. And also it was also leaking on this side of the thermostat, so I put a new clamp on it from Abarth again, and it's not leaking there either. So last thing I want to do to make the engine bay look a little bit nicer is this panel over here. So I have to remove both wipers, get this little plastic cover off, and behind it is a size 12, I believe. And there are some plastic pins in here, one over here, other one is over there, and another one over there. Just remove them. undo the bolts, undo the wipers, and get this plastic panel off. Gonna clean it, gonna paint it, and put it back. Okay, so I cleaned this panel. It's clean, but it's losing its black touch, as you can see. So what we are going to do is simply paint it. I did it the same way on my Schumacher almost 3 years ago, and it's still looking perfect. Just some matte paint, and again, just like that, very simple. Just a base coat. And it will look brand new in a few moments. And after paint, it looks like this. Much better. Okay, let's see if we can fix up this little grill over here. I think I also got a spare logo. It's in red, but it would probably look much better on the car. So black car, red logo, and completely black grille. So I'm gonna clean it up, paint it, and install the brand new logo. Let's go. Look at then, guys, after paint and after the new logo, it's looking much better. Okay, so most of the wiring is pretty much done. What I'm gonna do right now is just simply put on the plus lead. Let's go for negative lead. By the way, this is not the finishing touch, this is just one from scrap. I sandblasted one that was actually broken, so yeah, we are using one from scrap. Actually the fuse is gone also, so I just simply bridged it using a very simple minus lead. Well, most of the things are connected up, not all connected, but the car should basically work. There's no vacuum lead over here, so we'll see what happens. There's also no PCV connected. Throttle body is clean. Well, I'm just gonna start it and see what it does. Fingers crossed, guys, fingers crossed. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Broke brake level ESP because the car didn't move for a long time. Indicator left. Okay, there's a problem with the stop lights in the back. Airbag failure, parking sensor failure. That's it. Well, let's just start her up. First time, guys. Woohoo! Okay, well, that's great. Well, guys, there you have it. The car starts up immediately. Basically the whole solution was wiring, and what I did is basically clean up all the wire leads, removed all the corrosion, etc. Rechecked everything, and it starts up immediately. So now it's time to finish the car. This is the front caliper. As you can see, I sandblasted it, and that has been a while ago. Luckily I stored it dry, so it didn't completely rust. Removed the this is the front caliper from the car. It has been sandblasted, and I removed the piston and the seal, etc. And now it's time to give it a little bit of paint. So first we are going to use some primer and make sure that I don't hit the inside. So this is just some primer, a little bit of extra care. And this is the first coat of primer. We're gonna do the other side also, of course, and then I'm gonna use some brake caliper spray, let it all clean, and then we'll get the piston in and the rubber seals, etc. I will show you how to do it, and well, then we are done. While both brake calipers are drying from the primer, I wanted to show you my rebuild kit that I'm using. I'm using the rebuild kit made by Frankit, and it's made in España. And inside the kit is a rubber seal that goes inside the caliper, and the piston is going through it, basically keeping all the brake fluids in here instead of here. And then we've got a little dust cover that goes in here like this, and well, there's also two rubbers inside for the sliding pins, and well, that's it. So I really hope that this part will fit, because whenever you got a part like this, aftermarket part, usually those rings won't fit, and you got problems with the piston getting in, etc. So if you have the right rubber, the piston will go in very smoothly, but well, we'll see when both are dry. Well, the brake caliper has been painted, and as you can see, it's looking brand new. I also cleaned up the piston. It does not have any, it has some score marks over here, but it's nothing that you can feel, so it's reusable. On the inside I installed, I hope you can see it on camera, let me turn on the light. Yes, on the inside, I installed the brand new rubber seal that came from the kit. Now I really hope that this piston will slide in easily using some grease, especially made for those brake calipers. I got it over here, and well, let's see what happens. If the piston won't go in with grease, then this rubber seal is too thick. That's the reason, because when you look like this, it's sticking out a little bit. So well, we'll see what happens. And look, it slides in easily, and it comes out pretty easy. This is what I mean with aftermarket that does not fit, even though when I cut it right in half, yeah, look at the size difference. So it's too big, can't go in. I can't push this part all the way through here because there is no space, can't do it. Aftermarket, don't use it. Well guys, the brake calipers have been painted, the pistons are in, the seal is in, and what I did is I cut a little bit out, around this big to be honest, so the seal was much too big, but now it can go in, so it's a temporary fix. I have to redo this outer seal in a few days, but for now it will work, and otherwise I can't continue. I also did these, and as you can see, they are perfectly moving. I used some grease right inside and brand new rubbers. So now it's time to install them on the car. And for this side
I bought a new brake line made by Bosch. Whee! Remmen.
It's what non-car people don't get. They see all cars as just 1.5 tons, 2 tons of wires, glass, metal and rubber. That's all they see. People like you or I know we have an unshakable belief that cars are living entities. You can develop a relationship with a car, and that's what non-car people just don't get. Okay, now the problem you have is that when you have the inner uncertainty of machinery, it is a machine. When something has foibles and won't handle properly, that gives it a particularly human quality because it makes mistakes. And that's how you can build a relationship with a car that other people won't get.